Speeding drivers in West Yorkshire are being warned that they should expect to be caught as changes are made to how safety cameras are used in the county. With one change being there won't be any signs that you're approaching anymore. Nick Freeman is Britain's leading motorist and road traffic lawyer. Hi, Nick. Good to see you. This is a change. This is a change in policy, isn't it? So at the moment, when we're driving along, we see a speed camera sign. You think, oh, I better be a bit careful. Frankly, you can't drive more than 20 miles an hour anywhere in London now anyway. But they're taking those away. Thing to do.
It feels like clandestine policing. In my view, the whole purpose of these signs is to warn motorists and to get motorists to slow down. And I think if you remove signs, what will happen is motorists will actually speed up. And yes, there will be more prosecutions, there will be more people easy policing. And you know what I would like to see is police on the roads in police cars, whether they be marked or unmarked, ideally both, to deal with bad driving, because really speeding is only a very small aspect of bad driving, and what we need is a police presence rather than a reliance on what's now going to become a secretive way of testing your speed. So I don't think it's going to reduce road safety. I think actually it's going to exacerbate it and cause problems.
See, the wording around the announcement as well was very it was very sinister. It said drivers must expect the unexpected. When did it change that motorists have such a dysfunctional relationship to those who are enforcing the rules of the road? It feels very much like us against them.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? Most motorists are responsible, working people, going about their lives, not doing any harm to anyone, compared with people who commit burglaries, thefts, assaults. And what happens when you do those, when you commit those offences, you get a crime reference number and often precious little else. The motorist, of course, tends to be someone, if they get done, they pay their fine, they accept their culpability, or they decide to fight it. They deal with it responsibly. And the police, it wasn't that long ago that the police used to stop you for speeding.
I mean, I want to be really clear here. I don't want it to sound like I'm sitting here saying everyone should be allowed to drive to speed awareness courses. But what I found when I got my speeding tickets was that I'd gone in one of those country roads. It's very common. You go from the 20 miles or the 40, 50 mile an hour zone as it was, and you go straight into a 20, 30 without clear signage. And it feels like this gotcha. Like we've gotcha. There was no cars there. There's no school. There's nobody around. There's nobody pulling out. There's no hazards that might be there. But we've got you. It's very profitable, though, isn't it, this, handing out these sorts of tickets?
Well, I think from the motorist perspective, it doesn't really make sense, you know. It's one-way traffic. It's always reduce the speed rather than increase it. So you can be sitting on a motorway at 70 miles an hour and it's empty. It could be the early hours of the morning. There's nothing about, and 70 miles an hour is just too slow. So I think the government need to completely rethink their approach to speeding because it's in a mess. I think on recent surveys, you know, over 50% of motorists admit speeding every time they get into a car. So the system isn't working, and I'm not in any way advocating that you should speed, but I am advocating a sensible approach where speeding makes sense to everyone. It's there for a sensible reason, as opposed to just let's grab some cash from the motorists because they'll pay up, they're easy prey. And that's what appears to be happening more and more. We seem to be vilifying the motorists rather than supporting them, and our roads are becoming safer and safer all the time. So this announcement by West Yorkshire Police makes no sense at all.
Yeah. All right, Nick, thank you so much. Top traffic lawyer there, Nick Freeman. Might get his number in case I need him next time I get speed awareness course. Right, my guest.